All right, ladies, thank you so much for joining us tonight on Thursday, October 17th. And this is one of our team calls where we're merging our teams all together, which is so fun that we get to see more faces and just kind of get a good family feel for everybody under BU. So it's good to have you guys here. I appreciate you guys showing up tonight. And I'm going to be talking about a few different things tonight, but the main thing that we're going to cover is comparison. And you guys are always hearing that phrase, you know, comparison is the thief of joy, but I'm here to tell you that is 100% true. And it honestly, truly will zap you like right away. It'll zap your motivation. It'll zap your joy. It zaps everything, your goal seeking motives. It zaps them all. So when we're thinking of comparison, raise your hand if you feel like you compare yourself to other people on, Michael's like, yep. Compare yourself to other people on our team. Raise your hand if you feel like you compare yourself to other Beachbody coaches. What about to people in your family or your friends? Yeah, at this point, like everybody's hands up because we all do it. Every single one of us at some point compares ourselves, whether it's, you know, with our team members, whether it's, you know, other coaches, whether it's people that are in our lives, our families. And you guys, we just admit that, yes, we do compare ourselves, but we have to sit there and we have to stop it there. We have to recognize that we're doing it and we have to put an end to it because all it's going to do is stop you in your tracks. Do you guys feel like you have ever adjusted your goals based on what somebody else has achieved or even based on what somebody else has set their goals at? Like raise your hand if you feel like you've done that. I've totally done that. Like I've set out my goals and I've written all my goals and I start working towards them and then somebody else tells me theirs and I'm like, oh, well, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm totally gonna do that. Or, oh, I didn't set my goals high enough. I need to do that. Or vice versa. Like, oh, wait, I set mine too high. I should probably adjust them like more towards hers. And I do that all the time. And I feel like we just in general tend to do those kinds of things. But we have to recognize that we're doing it and we have to stop. You have to get clear on your own story and your own mission. And in order to do that, you have to build that foundation of belief in yourself. So I wanted to first like show you guys some slides here. And if you guys are familiar, if you guys have been Beachbody for a little bit of time, you guys probably know who Melanie Mitro is. And if not, Melanie Mitro was the top coach for all of Beachbody for 4 years in a row, which is the longest anybody's been top coach. And she is an absolute rock star. And then this year is a new top coach, and her name is Ashley Molstead. And these two women could not be any more opposite, right? These are two completely different women. And I'll show you guys a little slide comparison of their two cover photos. Talk about two different, two completely different styles. So let me just share my screen really quick. Oops, I should minimize you guys here. All right. So here is Melanie. This is what Melanie's cover photo looks like, right? You guys see she is super professional. You jump on here and you're like, okay, this girl knows what she's doing. She's so professional. She's clearly very successful. Like she said, she's a mom and wife, successful entrepreneur, self-made millionaire, and a public speaker. She gives a little bio about herself, basically talking about how she knows how to build a successful business. She's going to take you along. You're already in her classroom. You guys get the idea. She is very, very professional, right? You get a very clear idea of who she is and what she's about. And then you look over here at Ashley, also extremely successful, but coming at it a very different way. She does not have the same type of pictures at all whatsoever as Melanie. You can see that her bio is kind of, I help women live a life without waiting on the wait. She talks about binging and having control over your food. So she comes about things completely differently, right? And if we start thinking about what happened, what would their life be like if they compared themselves to the other? So what if Ashley Molstead was comparing herself to Melanie and what everything that Melanie was posting about, was talking about? What do you think that Ashley would think? That she's a complete failure, right? She would think that she'd have to completely revamp everything that she talks about. She'd have to redo all of her pictures. She would have to completely rewrite all of her posts. And same with Melanie Mitro. If Melanie Mitro was comparing herself to Ashley Molstead, what do you think she would think about herself? she would say the same thing. She would see that, sorry, I want to try to get you guys off here. She would be thinking that she needed to revamp everything that she was doing, everything that she's worked so hard for, she would need to completely redo, right? Because she would be comparing herself to somebody who is not her. And we do the same thing. We think that we need to compare ourselves to, you know, even our success partner, or to somebody on our team, or to somebody in our family. And as soon as we do that, we are no longer in control of what it is that we're trying to share. We're no longer sharing our story. We're no longer authentic. And I've heard this quote so many times about this time that somebody was interviewing Oprah, and they were saying, how do you feel about, you know, all these other shows? This is when her shows became really successful. Like, how do you feel about all these other shows that are coming up and coming and kind of following in your footsteps? And she's like, what shows? I don't ever watch any of my competitors ever. I've never once sat down and watched one of these shows because immediately as soon as I do, I would lose my authenticity. And that's so true. Like, she's not going to watch other people's or competitors' shows, whether or not she supports them or not, but she's not going to watch them because at that point she's going to start feeling like she needs to do what they're doing. And we do the same thing. So as soon as we're watching other people, we're becoming like obsessed with other people's successes. We no longer are working towards ourselves. So I encourage you guys, if you're doing that, if you're watching other coaches, whether it be friends of yours or other Beachbody coaches or even other entrepreneurs, if you're watching them to the point where you're starting to feel like you're not doing what you should be doing, you have to unfollow. Like, you have to go through your Instagram or you have to go through your Facebook and be like, it's not that you don't like them or you unfriend them, don't unfriend them, but unfollow them. Unfollow these people that are making you feel like less than, or making you feel like what you're doing is not enough. Because those are the kinds of things that is going to get you to halt at your goals like immediately. This business is an emotional roller coaster. Raise your hand if you agree. Raise your hand if you feel like you've been like completely at the top of your game and you're like, yes, it's such a great day. Like, I signed a brand new coach and she's a rock star. She's going to be so great. I'm totally going to hit this goal. I'm made for this. I love this guy so much. This is like the best job ever. And literally the next day you're like, oh my gosh, this is so hard. I can't do this. Like my whole world just crashed down. Like 4 people just quit on me. I just got this really mean message. Somebody just commented on my picture and somebody says that this isn't true, or somebody says this is a pyramid scheme. This is the word. I can't do this. I was never meant to be a coach. What am I thinking? Like, this is something that happens on a regular basis, right? Like, we are absolutely riding this crazy roller coaster. And until we actually like figure out our main goal, our purpose, our belief, then we're going to continue riding this and feeling like these huge lows and huge highs and never being able to have some form of stability. So I really, really encourage you guys to understand that we have to believe in our mission and we have to believe in our story first. And that has to be like our number one. That has to be our foundation, because our foundation cannot be built on this like crazy roller coaster of a ride that, you know, coaching is. So in order to do that, we are going to have to figure out what that story is. So we talk all the time about figuring out your story, figuring out what it is that you're trying to share, what, you know, your belief is, why it is that you're coaching in the first place, your big why, right? That needs to be your foundation. But you have to understand that you need to believe in it. So think about, I want everybody right now to think of like a huge goal, like something that is like really big, like something you're kind of even afraid to maybe talk to other people about because it's so big, like something you feel like, okay, if this business was like everything that I want it to be, this is the goal this is like the big goal. And I'll share like a really scary one with you guys. But think of that right now, like picture it right now, what you have in your head. And tell me right now, if you 100% believe you are worthy of it. Like, raise your hand if you completely, fully believe you are worthy of that big goal. Some of you not. Until we like are 100% like confident that we are worthy of these huge dreams and these huge goals we have to keep going right back to that belief. We have to keep going right back to building that foundation on our story. So when we're doing that, I want to kind of go through like how I plan this out. So before setting a goal, you have to go all the way back to the beginning of your vision. So when I'll share with you guys a really big goal of mine, and it's scary to even talk about. But I have like from day one, like as soon as I realized I was going to be doing coaching full time and I was going to take this long term, I've had this goal to be able to speak on stage at Summit. And it's like a super scary, like terrifying thing. Like, I'm actually like, my heart's racing right now talking about it. It's just one of those things that has always scared the poop out of me, but I've always believed it's going to happen. And so when I think about that, when I like visualize this particular goal, I don't just think like, oh, that would be so nice if I could like speak on stage. That'd be so cool. No, I like literally feel myself on the stage. So I'm like, I feel my feet on the stage. I feel my heart pounding. I can feel the heat from the lights as they're like shining down on me. I hear my team like out there in like the audience. I'm seeing like the words I'm supposed to be speaking like up on the signs. Like I am in it. I'm completely like feeling it all. And like once you get to that point, like once you get like that vision, that's where that belief starts building. Like, okay, I can do that. I'm so worthy of this. I can actually make this happen. And until you get there, you really shouldn't go forward into the setting of those goals to getting there. You really have to get that stability first. That's your foundation. So if you haven't moved on to that point where you're actually believing that you're worthy of it and it actually can happen, you got to go right back to that vision and put yourself in there. Put yourself in that experience. And this takes some time of like doing, because sometimes it feels like so fake, like, oh my gosh, I'm like envisioning this ridiculous dream, you know, but until you get that point, you really shouldn't move on to setting the goals to get you there, because you won't achieve those goals. You won't be able to take the steps to get there until you believe that you're worthy of it and that it can really, truly happen. So when I'm doing this, when I'm thinking that, I'm completely putting myself in that moment. And then I can start setting goals. Then I can start believing that it's going to happen. Then I can start writing it down. I can start maybe talking to people about it. And then I can start setting the goals to get there. And by setting the goals, it's the SMART goals. You guys have probably heard, you know, setting SMART goals. Look it up. The specific, SMART being S-M-A-R-T, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. So you guys can look up just kind of how to go through a SMART goal. But that's how you would set, you know, the steps to get to that goal. But it's like I said, it's not going to go anywhere. You're not going to be able to reach that or to work towards it until you believe that belief that you're 100% worth getting there, worth being in that spot, worth seeing yourself in there. So once you get that, then you can start working towards those goals. And we can talk more in the future about setting goals and how to do that. But I just think it's really important for so many of us who we talk about goals all the time, when we talk about setting goals and we're like, oh, make sure you put your goals down for this week. Make sure you set your goals for the month. Make sure you set your big goals for the future. But if we're not believing that we can actually get there, there's no way we're going to be successful in reaching those goals. So does anybody have any questions so far about any of that? I didn't see somebody's words in the chat. Okay, so can you write in the chat? I'm going to ask you two different questions. One, are you more afraid to fail, or do you think you're more afraid to succeed? So you can just say fail or succeed. And two, does setting big goals scare you? So are you more afraid to fail, or are you more afraid to succeed, and do setting really big goals scare you? All right, so failing, lots of fails, some succeeds, failing, succeeding, and yes, succeed, yes, yes. Yeah, get afraid without success, succeed. Yes, 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 yes. Lots and lots of yeses. Setting big goals doesn't scare me, but my belief in getting there is not behind them. Yeah, totally. I can set goals all day long. You're like, oh yeah, that sounds nice. Oh, that would be good too. I can do that. That'll be good. But then once I actually like believe it, do I believe that I can do it, or do I believe I'm worthy of it? That's where we got to go back to building that foundation. All right. So I was figuring this was kind of going to be the answers. Yes. So what do you think that means that we need to be doing? PD. Like that always goes back to PD. So if you don't have the belief in ourselves to be able to do that, we have to start with PD. And there's so many different options. I'm not going to go into all the different, PDs that we can do. There's so many different PDs that we can work with. But if you have that, if you're lacking that belief, that's the PD you need to dig into. And then as far as setting goals, a really, really good PD for setting goals is the 12-week year. If you guys haven't read that or haven't listened to it, that is actually really good for setting those goals, if you already have that belief. Okay, so any questions thus far? I'm going to kind of take a little bit of a twist and a little bit of a turn on things. But if anybody has any questions, you can ask them now. Okay, so one of the things that we were sorry, PD, yes, personal development. When we were in Utah, we got a really, really great training from one of the mentors there. And I was going to share some with you. And actually, April had posted it in our team page, in her team page the other day, if you guys happen to see it. It's the entrepreneur mindset. So it's really important for us to be thinking of ourselves as entrepreneurs and having that kind of mindset. And so many times, like we talked about this roller coaster ride, we are often like shifted from our focus and where we're supposed to be going when we have somebody come at us with, you know, something negative that they have to say or some sort of a response. You guys are hearing no's all the time, but if we don't have that entrepreneur mindset, those kinds of things can derail us. So I was going to share with you guys these slides they showed us in our training, which was just really fantastic. Let me share. All right, so the entrepreneur mindset. So you guys are going to hear these kinds of things all the time, right? The wrong mindset. I'm not good at this. No one will ever say yes. We hear ourselves say this all the time when we're in one of those lows from the roller coasters, right? But the right mindset, if you are a true CEO, no means not right now. I know someone out there needs to hear from me. I'm going to continue inviting until I find them. Hopefully every single one of us has experienced this before. You know, somebody may say no, and then 3 months later or 2 years later, they're going to end up saying yes. It happens all the time. But to just not give up. You will be ignored. You guys know, as coaches, we get ghosted all the time. The wrong mindset is going to be saying, I'm annoying them. Nobody wants to talk to me. But an entrepreneur mindset is maybe they have a lot going on right now. Hello, all of us, every single one of us can relate to that. And they can't get back to me. I'll get back to them. I'll follow up. I know how crazy my life can be. Family bashes what you do. I feel like a lot of us can relate to this, and several of us just this week. Their opinions are making me second guess my decision. Like how often I've heard two close people in my life just tell me that this has happened this week. Their opinions are making me second guess my decision. Like, yeah, that's awful when somebody that we love or somebody that's close to us makes you second guess your decision. But once again, we have to be rooted in that belief in our story matters. We are doing huge things. We are changing lives, including our own. How freaking badass is it going to be when I get to prove them wrong? If that's something that fires you up, then do it. This has changed my life. You guys know it's changed our lives. It's changed every single person that's on this call right now. It has changed your life in some way, and you know it's going to change someone else's too. That's the mindset that we have, not about their opinion of what it is that we do. You get a nasty comment on your page. Oh, I'm gonna delete the post that I did. It was so hard for me to put out there, and now I'm being made fun of. The right mindset, no, I'm gonna delete their comment because their comment is what's wrong. It's not your post that's wrong, and I'm gonna block that person if necessary. Don't be a catty. My coach put up something that scared her and it inspired me. How many times do you guys post something and it like gets your heart like pounding? You're like, oh my gosh, this is so scary, and you posted it anyway, and you leave it there, right? You don't go back and be like, I can't, no, erase. I have done that before. I went live actually, and in the middle of my live, I totally lost like track of what I was saying. I turned beet red and I was like, oh, and I ended it in the middle of me talking, and then I deleted it. So everyone was like, where did your live go? And I was like, oh, I deleted that. That was not staying up. She's like, girl, you cannot do that. So the right mindset is, no, you're not going to delete your post. There's something wrong with your post or your live or whatever it is. Whatever's wrong is the person who's, you know, made some nasty comment about it. You can just go ahead and delete that comment. The wrong mindset when somebody gets upset with you. I'm terrible at this. I suck at this. All I'm doing is trying to share. I can't take this anymore. There's our really big low from our roller coaster that we're on, right? But no, I know this has way more to do with them than me. Their reaction has nothing to do with what it is that I'm sharing. I know what I stand for and what I believe in. You guys, if you don't know what you stand for or what you believe in, ooh, you got to work on that. You got to know firm, like, you know what we're doing is huge and making huge waves in our lives and in so many others. I know I'm giving them something that works, and move on. Somebody cancels on you, somebody cancels their coach account, you get some random email like, oh great, that person just canceled their coach account without even letting me know. Or they returned their package and now you get a ding in your paycheck, right? The wrong mindset, oh, why me? Why does this always happen to me? Now I'm negative Success Club points, or I'm losing rank. It's about me, right? I can totally attest that. I've been there. Absolutely. The right mindset. I know I did everything I could to help them. And it just wasn't their time. And I'll be back for them when they're ready to come back. You cannot take these kinds of things personally. I know Hannah knows like firsthand this. Somebody had, sorry if you don't mind me sharing, Hannah. Somebody had canceled, like she bought all these things and then sent it back like right away. And then ordered it all again and then mailed it all back like within a week. It was like, what in the heck? Yeah, but it's not, that wasn't Hannah's fault. It wasn't her time. She was very, just unclear on what it is that she knew that she wanted. Not Hannah's fault. You'll get blocked or unfriended on social media. You guys, I don't even know how many times I've been blocked or unfriended, but I know it's been a lot. So the wrong mindset, what did I do wrong? Oh, that we were friends. All I did was share. I suck at this and I'm hurt. Like you maybe feel that way, like you suck at this and that hurts, but do not live there because you don't suck. And maybe it did hurt, but you don't need to live there. Goodbye to the people who aren't my tribe. Like that is, when I see that, when I know that somebody unfriended me or unblocked me, and I'm like, okay, well, that's one less person that I have to worry about like reaching out to. Like that just minimized my tribe. It makes it more clear for me to know the people that truly belong with me. So don't think of it that, you know, you were attacked. Think of it that, you know, that's clearing out. It's clearing out people that you don't need in your tribe. You will miss a goal. I let my team down. I suck at this. I'm not good. I should just quit. I'm going nowhere. And you guys, I've shared this before, but just last year, like less than a year ago, I missed a really, really big goal that I was 100% sure I had in the bag. And it derailed me so bad that even at like the spot that I was as a coach, I thought that I was going to have to quit. Like I thought that I was going to quit because I was so defeated. And I put like so much of my worth in that goal that I thought I was going to get. And setting your goals at rank is really, really, really tricky and scary place to be, because your rank a lot of times does not depend on your work. A lot of times your rank depends on other people. So when you set your goal or your worth, especially if you set your worth on a certain rank, that's a scary, scary place to be. And even me from where I was a year ago, to know that, like that defeated me so hard that I truly like doubted everything that I had done for 3 years. So when you're setting your goals, it'll just be a little tip. When you're setting your goals, don't set it specifically on a rank and it has to be this rank because you have to depend on a lot of people to get there. So little tidbit. So the right mindset for this would be, I'm going to cry for a second. In my case, I cried for about 6 hours. I'm going to get up and I'm going to keep going. I will fail forward. Just keep going. And I'm going to learn from what I did wrong, and no one is perfect. Someone who starts after will move past you. You guys are going to see this on a regular basis because it happens to all of us. And you're going to think, but you can choose to think, what am I doing wrong? Why do I suck? But the right mindset, if you are a true entrepreneur, CEO of your life, I am happy for her. We are truly happy for each other when we succeed. She knows exactly what she wants and she's going for it. And I'm going to reach out and see what she did so I can be there too. My coach Will Coy kind of talked about this, but it makes you feel like you're failing as a leader, but you're not. Family and friends don't talk to you as often. Yeah. I have a lot less friends, honestly, now. Well, quote unquote friends that I had before Beachbody. I've got fewer, but much, much better friends because of this opportunity. So the wrong mindset when you maybe lose friends or they don't talk to you as much would be, you know, I have to quit. My friends don't talk to me. I need to quit. No, you're growing your life. And that's a huge thing that we have to realize. Like as coaches, we are changing. We're 100% changing, like right before other people's eyes. We're changing physically, but more importantly and bigger, we're changing everything about our life. And it is making us maybe a little bit different. And that makes people uncomfortable. So true, like honest, true friends that you want long-term in your life are going to accept the fact that you maybe are a little bit different than when they first met you, but different for the better, you know? And if somebody can't accept the fact that you are changing for the better, then they're not truly meant to be in your life. So you can still love them. You always be there for them, but there's a reason, and you owe it yourself to prove them wrong. You are becoming a better person. You are becoming the best version of you, and anybody that supports that is, that is your friend, and anybody who doesn't is either somebody who needs to really work on themselves or somebody that's not really worth your time. That's a little harsh, but so that's what I have for you guys tonight. I hope that was helpful, and I hope that you guys really try to focus on building that foundation of belief before you start setting those really big goals and before you start thinking that really long term, because for you guys to understand that belief and for you guys to know and 100% feel like your worthiness and you're worth all these dreams, that's where it needs to start. So I totally, completely believe in every single one of you, because I have been in all of these different spots in my coaching career, and I know that you can get past them. I know you can get past all those feelings of defeat and all those feelings of unworthiness, but it is a lesson in consistently digging into your personal development and to each other. So I hope that was helpful. If anybody has any questions, you can unmute yourself or you can put it in the chat. And if not, we can go ahead and finish up our night. Good. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. All right, ladies, have a good night. Mwah. So glad you guys popped in.